Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Naturally Yours podcast, where we celebrate our beautiful women of color while spotlighting their success and bringing more awareness to their natural hair. I'm your host, Ty the Natural, and on today, for episode 7, I have the pleasure of interviewing a very, very special someone who I've referred to as my auntie because she makes me feel like family. And she is your very own Sonia, the CEO of Black Storehouse. Help me welcome Miss Sonia.
Thank
I'm
you for having me.
You're so welcome. Thank you for giving me a little bit of your time today. I know you are very busy, and I really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So, just so we can open up, how about you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do, just so the audience can know a little bit more about you.
Okay. I am Sonia and your social media coach. I'm also the founder of Black Storehouse. Our mission is simply to change the narrative of how people speak about Black owned businesses. And we do that by teaching them the ins and outs of social media, how to make the algorithm to bend in your favor, how to move potential customers from your social media to your website, how to generate the sale, just basically the 101s of being a micro e-commerce brand. We've also in the last couple of months started offering our done for you services, which are templates that you can basically just copy and paste for your email, your website descriptions, and your captions. That's just the basis of Black Storehouse.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And whew, everyone should be very thankful for you because you are so special and
Thank
you
you.
light up, you light people up, you light their feelings up. I If they're doing something that's not really good, you definitely correct them and you let them know. And honestly, I love it. I love being authentic. I love being honest, and honestly it comes off sometimes hilarious. you know i I laugh, even if it is talking to me, because I like the truth. I don't like to go around it, and I love that you're always authentically you.
I
So,
appreciate that. I do my best.
oh, you're welcome. You definitely do. You definitely do. I love it. So, how about you take us a little bit back to the beginning of your journey, Sonia? How about you tell us how Black Storehouse even became, like before it was even created? Like, give us a little bit more of your background, how that led up to that, and why.
Oh, now this could be a long story, but I'm going to do my best to give you the bite-sized version. When my son was in high school, he came to me one day and he was like, "Mama," he said, "I want to be a brand." I was like a whole brand by yourself. He was like, "Yes, ma'am, I want to be a brand." I said, "Okay." And so I gave him a strategy. And he started following the strategy. He told me, he said, "I want to go from 0 to 100,000 followers by my graduation date." If I'm not mistaken, he was 15 years old. And so he started at 15. His graduation date was when he was 17 years old.
Hmm.
And on his graduation date, he got his 100,000 followers.
Oh,
By the age
wow.
of 16, he was using, and this was simply a spam meme page. By
Mm,
the age of 16, he was using that spam meme page to do promos for other people. At
mm.
16 years old, he was going to school, working a part time job, and bringing $2,500 a month home simply from that page.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, "Mama," he said, "you could literally do this for other people." And I'm like, "No, that ain't my thing." That was a couple years ago. But I had thought about it several times after that.
Hmm.
And during the very beginning of the pandemic,
Hmm.
I was of course I was nervous like everybody else was. I was ordering from businesses online. Most of the time they were smaller businesses because I knew that I could get whatever I needed from them faster than I could going to a larger brand.
Gotcha.
And most everybody else that I knew were doing that, but they were talking so bad about Black owned businesses. And I'm like, but I haven't had that. I haven't been having that type of experience with them. I'm like, it's not every business.
Mm-hmm.
And the same people that were talking bad, they were like, I will never go to another Black owned business. I'm like, but how can you say that? Because you
Mm-hmm.
still go to Walmart, because you still go to
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's, because you
Mm-hmm.
still shop with Amazon, you still
Mm-hmm.
shop with all of these other people that have big teams. I'm like, they don't have teams. I'm like, so,
Right.
kind of lighten up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I have a lot of the tools and a lot of the expertise and a lot of the education to be able to help businesses, but I have to do it from the inside. So of course I prayed about it. And I prayed that he give me a sign, or that he show me something, or that he gives me a plan or a strategy or what have you.
Right.
And I started to every morning for 3 weeks, I woke up with the same scripture. And it was a Malachi scripture. And the part of it that stood out to me was, bring ye tithes into the storehouse so that there'll be meat in my house. And I'm like, why am I thinking about that? I'm like, Lord, I ain't paying my tithes. I'm sorry, I ain't going to church. I'm like, I don't understand why that is the thing on my mind. But it just every day for about 3 weeks, that's what I was thinking about. And one day my niece called me and she
Mm-hmm.
was like, you know something? She said, you know what I was thinking about? I said, what? She said, I was just thinking about this storehouse, this Black storehouse.
Mm.
I was like, can I borrow that name? And she
Right.
was like, yeah. She said, I wrote it down 6 months ago. I said, did
Mm.
you? She said, yeah. I said, can I borrow that? I said, because you wrote it down for me.
Right.
I said, so let me hurry up and get online so I can start my business.
Right.
And so I did. And that's I started Black Storehouse because I simply wanted to change the narrative of how people talked about our businesses. And I know that some of them were not perfect in customer service, or they didn't do their captioning all the way correctly. Some content may not be $1 million level just yet, but I knew that I had what it took
Right.
to be able to help.
Right.
And so when I started Black Storehouse, of course, just like every other brand, I started with zero on my Instagram, on my social media. And I grew really, really fast. And every Saturday, we did what was called the Saturday Showcase. And that's the way that I did most of my followers through my lives. In
Mm.
my Saturday showcases, people would show up. I would of course drop gems and nuggets and give them different 101s and hacks. But the biggest part of Saturday Showcase was connecting with other Black owned businesses and allowing them the platform
Right.
to be able to learn how to deliver their products
Right.
online in front of other people. So I helped a lot of people learn how to be comfortable getting on live. Um, that page
Mm-hmm.
was reported and deleted in, I think it was March of last year. So from March of last year all the way up until May of last year, after the page was deleted, I said, maybe I should just let this go, because maybe it's not going to be beneficial.
Mm.
Maybe I'm just kind of running on my hamster wheel and I'm not doing anything. But
Mm-hmm.
people started reaching out to me, and people were saying, Miss Sonia, I miss seeing you. Or, Auntie, I need your help. Can you help me on this?
Right.
Like, I was still helping people, even though I said, forget it, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, well, I'm going to try to start my page back. And finally, I was able to. And so, what you see now is the pivot and the rebirth of Black Storehouse.
Gotcha. Well, let me tell you, I'm glad that you back because I wouldn't have got to meet you. I wouldn't have got to
No,
meet
you
you.
wouldn't have.
No, and I'm so glad that I have, and I'm glad that we've had our conversations. You know, leading up to this, because you are very valuable to have. You know, part as your team because you're so knowledgeable and
Thank you.
you so honest. So you can only be better because you're straightforward. You don't hide no punches, and you give everyone what they need. Like you always bring the value. Always. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
That's the goal.
Yes, yes. So, wow, that is phenomenal. That's a phenomenal story. That your son, that you taught your son how to grow his page, and then he reached his goal on graduation. Like, how phenomenal is that? Like,
Right.
like you definitely need to be a social media coach for real, because you did that with not even trying. Like, you did that
Right.
just on a limb. Like, and then you built that rapport with your customer base, your tribe, and they were wondering where you were after, Satan wants to try to stop you. But
Right.
he can't
Right.
stop greatness. So
No, he can't.
no, not at all. Not at all. So why don't you tell me this? Is there anything that you may have, besides getting deleted and having to rebirth your brand, is there anything that you might have done differently, like during the beginning stages up to finally completing your Black Storehouse?
In the beginning stages, the one thing that I would have done differently is to have more confidence. I
Yes.
had, I was not confident. Like I knew what I was doing. I
Mm-hmm.
was knowledgeable,
Mm-hmm.
and service is my heart. So giving or offering my service to somebody else, that was second nature. That wasn't hard at all, but it was the fact that when I got off live, I'm like, did I do okay? Did I help somebody? Maybe I didn't do that well. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna stop it. And I wasn't. That's why I can. That's why I teach people that have those same issues, because I know where you're coming from. I
Mm-hmm.
know how you feel. I know what it's like to have imposter syndrome. And even
Mm-hmm.
though you know without a shadow of doubt that you have the education, you've got the knowledge, you've got the goods to be able
Mm-hmm.
to deliver,
Mm-hmm.
there's still that little voice that says you're not enough or you can't.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if there was something that I could change, it would have been to ignore that little voice and to move honestly in more confidence. Because I have found that the more that I've settled into who I am
Mm-hmm.
and moving honestly just within my purpose,
Mm-hmm.
the confidence is just there. Like,
Right.
there's either room for faith or there's room for fear,
Right.
but there cannot be room for both.
Right. Right.
Faith and fear cannot reside in the same heart. Like, it literally can't.
That's so true. That's so
And
true.
so now the more that I move in faith, the less fear that there is. Like,
Right.
there's no possibility for it. The
Right.
math ain't mathing on that.
Right. Right. That's a very good gem. That is a very good gem. So I hope y'all are listening, and I hope that y'all are getting inspired, because I know I am. And she is right. You definitely have to have that faith. You got to have that belief in yourself, because if you don't, who else is going to have it in you? You got to have it in yourself. You
Hmm.
you make the dream come alive. Nobody else.
Hmm.
So I definitely agree with you on that. What are some tips that you can give another young lady that may be thinking about becoming a social media coach, but maybe she's, still at her 9 to 5, and she's thinking
Okay.
about actually starting to build for her last name?
Okay. The first thing that I would tell her is to, whoever you speak to, you pray or you meditate on it, and you make sure that is the thing that is really purpose for you, that is your heart's desire. Because being a social media coach is so much less about social media and so much more about people. And if you don't have a heart for service,
Mm-hmm.
or if you are not a person that likes people
Mm-hmm.
or can deal with different personalities, then you need to rethink your passion or what you think is your passion.
Right.
It's not the easiest job
Right.
because, of course, all of dealing with social media and in being a social media coach, you're dealing with personalities, you're dealing with attitudes, you're
Mm-hmm.
dealing with people a lot of times that are at the end of their ropes
Mm-hmm.
as it relates to social media. And it also spills over into their personal life.
Right.
And so you become auntie, you become a surrogate mother, you become a friend, you become a confidant, you become all of these other things outside of the title that you've assigned yourself
Right.
when you are moving in your purpose, when you are moving in your passion. So I would say to make sure that you are ready for the service of giving.
Yes.
And if you are ready for the service of giving, then you got the job.
Awesome. I'll serve first. Always serve first.
Always serve first.
Yes, because it's always the question, what are you doing for somebody else? Are you
Right.
providing any value? Because it's not about us. If you're not willing to help someone else, then what are you doing? Like you're
Mm-hmm.
you're not living your full purpose because we're all
Mm-mm.
here to help someone. It's just whatever gift God gave you.
Whatever gift you have is
Hmm.
is the gift that you use to be able to propel somebody else into their next level.
Yes, yes. And um that's why I'm going back to the belief thing. But I'm saying this because I know we both know someone on social media who was scared about going doing reels, and since she started implementing them and doing them more often,
Mm-hmm.
I really love the growth on her. I really her page is like taking off, and
Right.
she's authentic. I feel like she's like more in your lane. You probably know who I'm talking about. But
I do.
okay. I love her. And I feel
I do
like
too.
since she's come out of her shell, she fully embraced it, and she's actually inspires me to be better, to be more creative, like
Right.
when I'm doing my reels. And I feel like I need to see her because she pops ideas into my head. And I told her this. I'm like, you were scared to, come out of your shell, but it's so true about everyone that somebody needs you. Somebody needs what you have to offer. It can be one person, but we know it's more than one
Mm-hmm.
person. But I wanted her to know, like, I'm so glad that you embrace this and that you're killing them, because it really helped me. Like it helped bring out more creativity in me. And so I just wanted
Right.
to give her flowers and let her know that to keep doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So how about we discuss your natural hair? Because we have to tie that in here.
Oh my goodness.
So how about you tell us a little bit about your journey? Have you always been natural? How long did you have your locks? And tell us, what you kind of what you're doing now with your new path.
Okay. I have not always been natural. I did my big chop in 2005.
Okay.
2000, yeah, it was 2005 I did my big chop. And I cut my hair really, really low, just like this, but I had a couple of spikes on top. Because I wasn't ready to shave it all the way off.
Right.
Had a couple spikes on top, and I started buying everything. Oh my God, I've spent probably thousands of dollars on products from 2005 up until I actually got a real regimen.
Mm,
And because I didn't know what was good for me, I didn't know what would work with my natural hair because I had never had natural hair before, or
right.
I didn't remember having natural hair.
Right.
Um, I thought about getting a perm.
Uh-huh.
Never did that. I had braids for literally, like, I've had braids 3 times since 2005 for like literally 3 weeks at the time
Mm-hmm.
because I realized I didn't like braids.
Mm,
I don't like stuff like that. I don't like tension. I've
gotcha.
never done a weave or a wig. I have grown my hair to almost butt length and shaved it all off.
Mm,
I have grown my hair to neck length or to shoulder length, and it started falling out after surgery. I
mm.
have grown my hair back, mid back length, and one day I woke up that morning and I was like, you know something? I don't want no hair on the sides. And so I started cutting it, and then I was like, I need to go to the barber shop and get a line. And I went to the barber shop, got a line, and I walked around for a couple of years with a gold mohawk. I didn't have any hair on the side. I had a bad line, but I had a gold mohawk. And my mohawk was literally a foot and a half tall.
Wow.
It was freaking awesome. Like that was actually my favorite hairstyle. February of last year. No, was it? No, it was all no, it was February of the year before because last year was 21. So February of
Mm-hmm.
2020,
Gotcha.
I decided to lock my hair. You see,
Okay.
I don't have any hair on the sides. And
Mm-hmm.
so I locked just the top part of my hair. And it actually locked and it started growing and it was about down to here. Two
Mm-hmm.
weeks ago, I was watching TV and I'm like, you know what? I don't want these anymore. I called my niece who owns a salon and I'm like, hey, would you shave my head? And she was like, I will not. I said, will you dye my hair blue and purple? And she was like, no, ma'am, I will not. And I was like, if you don't do it, when you come home, it's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't believe me. And I went straight into the bathroom and I took my hair and I got to the new growth from the lock and I just started clipping. And I did all of these first. And I was like, I'm going to walk around like this. And I was like, nah, I ain't going to do it. And I cut all of it off, but I kept this one because this one is my favorite one.
Gotcha. The lucky
Um,
dread.
the Lucky Dreads, I kept that one and I pulled out my clippers and I played with it a little bit and then I washed it and put my products on it and I was like, I'm cute.
Right. That's
I'm
it. That's
cute.
all.
To the barber shop and he was like, I knew that you would not be able to keep them locks for 3 years. I was like, well, you know me, just go ahead, give me a good line, do me up, make me pretty again. And he
Right.
did that. And I'm cute and I love
Right.
it. I would not take my natural hair for anything. Like has been probably one of my most favorite journeys in my
Yes.
life,
Yes. Yes.
except for buying all the products. That's not a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you on that one. But I will say, I love my natural hair journey. And I'm so glad that I really got back to my roots. And that's why I'm so passionate on,
Right,
trying to get these other women and young ladies to embrace who they really are instead of hiding who they are. Because it's like after
right.
you take all that stuff off, who are you?
Who are you?
Yeah.
Right,
Because I don't even know you no more.
right.
So it's like, you're not, that's not you. Like, that's not really you. So it's like you're putting a mask on to cover up
Hmm.
what? What are you hiding? Like, what are you ashamed of? Because my thing is, if you're afraid to show your natural hair, that's an insecurity problem. Because you shouldn't be ashamed to show something that naturally grows out of your head. Now, if your hair is damaged, then it's on you to get that repaired. Like, don't keep hiding it thinking like it's going to get better because it's not. You have to work with it. You have to love and care for your hair, just like anything else. It's a
Hmm.
relationship. You have to have a relationship with your hair. You have to learn it.
Hmm.
You have to know what it likes, what it don't
That's
like.
it.
You have to date your hair. Like,
That's it.
mm-hmm.
But
And
there are a lot of years of brainwashing that
yes,
women and men, Black women and men, have received because
yes,
for so long we were not represented anywhere in a magazine.
right,
The only time we would see people with skin as dark as ours would be in National Geographic.
right, right,
But they still didn't represent who we were in America.
Right.
They didn't represent what we look like in America.
Mm-mm.
And so
Mm-mm.
I in a yeah, I do want people to get back to their natural hair, just like you, and to embrace who they really are.
Yes.
But just like with any negative, it takes 7 times positive to wipe away any negative.
It's true.
So where they've received all of these years of brainwashing, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to take some time
Right.
to pour positivity into them,
Right.
to build
Right.
them up in the places that they were broken,
Right.
so
Right.
that they can feel comfortable within to say, you know something, this is who I am. This
Mm-hmm.
is how my hair grows naturally from my scalp.
Right.
And I love every part of it.
Yes. Yes. And me myself, I pride myself on empowering women because I'm really big on that. And I feel like that's why God put me here as well to empower women because it just naturally comes out. I don't
Mm-hmm.
I don't do anything. It just naturally comes out. I won't even know a person. And if I see that
Mm-hmm.
they're having a bad day, I will say something positive to them or uplifting to them
Right.
to make them feel better, because you need that. Because
Mm-hmm.
I know how it feels to not have nobody build you up. I know how it feels. So when you've been there, you don't want other people to be there and stay there. You want to
Mm-hmm.
uplift people and get them out of that rat race or that them slums because we all truly deserve a good life and abundant life, but you have to work for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I also feel with natural hair, it's a mindset thing too. Just like you said, I know that there are traumas there, just from all the love and hate from our hair, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to educate yourself. You have to educate yourself. You need to go back and look at your history. Look at our history on what our hair actually means, because it our hair is powerful.
It is.
When you go back to the roots of it, it has so much power. Our hair has so much meaning to it. And it's like, no, what other race did that? I don't think no one other race did.
No
And
other
it,
race had to.
right, right. They didn't. You're right. Because we are the ones who got shamed on for our hair. And they initially created this division, as we know. But I'm not going to take us back to history class.
Because, baby, I'll go with you. Sure
but
will.
but as y'all can see, me and Miss Sonia are very passionate about empowering who you truly are. Be authentically you, because there's nobody else like you. No one else can be you. So be you. Be yourself. If I can't stress it enough. So, Miss Sonia, why don't you tell us what are some things you see in the future for Black Storehouse?
Hmm. Well, one thing that we started this month, I realized that even though God gave me the vision of Black Storehouse, He created the plan for Black Storehouse.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't giving back to Him, and I'd always promised, Lord, whatever is given to me, I will give back.
Right.
And so I did. I went back to basics and I prayed and I said, Lord, I made a vow and I've not honored it. And from this point on, I will continue to honor my vow to you to give back. And
Right.
so, there's another scripture that says, where will a man rob God? And it's in tithes and offerings.
Right.
And so I told God, I said, each month I'll give you a tithe from Black Storehouse. And my tithe, your greatest, your best is your 1%. I'm your 10%.
Right.
And I gave him my best, my 10%. And I gave 20 codes for services, for valued total at $6,500 for 20 businesses. And we sold out within 24 hours, in less than 24 hours. And it may not be on that scale, but for the rest of the year and through the life of Black Storehouse, my goal is to tithe God each month by giving of myself. Of course, we've got new downloadables. We have master classes coming up. We have some free master classes. We have plans to partner and collaborate with other brands and other businesses so that we can be a full service agency
Right.
and give you everything that you need
Right.
in being a micro e-commerce brand. Um, but there's a lot brewing with Black Storehouse. But the biggest part of it
Hmm.
is the give back. The biggest
Yes.
part of it is the tithe. The biggest part of it is the service.
Right.
Even if I make $0 or if I
Hmm.
make $500,000,
Hmm.
I would do this for free because my goal is to just give to the people that need it. And
Right.
I found there's so many brands that are just starting, and all of the money from their jobs they're putting into buying product and creating this and creating that, they don't have the money to pay me. And I understand that. But that's the target market that I need. That's the target market that I want to help. So
Right.
I'm either going to help them at a rate that is lower than other social media coaches,
Hmm.
or I'm just going to sit here at zero mad. So I want to give to them. If they
Right.
need me, I don't want anybody to feel bad because I'm coming to you for something and I can't pay you. I'm not worried about that because I know what you can't do, somebody else is going to do.
Right.
Your
Right.
blessing or your karma doesn't always come back from the place that it started.
Right. That's so true. That's so true. I was just talking to somebody the other day and they were like, always give. Like he was like, give money away. Give money away. Because
Hmm.
there's a law. If you give money away, it will return to you. But
It will return.
if you're stingy and don't want to give any money away, then then you'll find yourself broke and you won't have any money because you're stingy and you don't want to give anyone any money. So I that really
Right.
stuck in my head. So my thing this year is really just being selfless, and it's impact over income for me all year.
Hmm. And
That's
so
what.
we're on the same page then.
Yes, yes, that's
Because I will make an impact. Even I may not make a dime. I may
right,
not continue to make a dime, but I will make an impact.
right. You
And that
will.
impact is going to become income.
It sure is. It sure you like was it Jim Rohn who said that this you give enough people what they want, you gonna get what you want.
It sure is. That's the 100% truth.
Yeah. And that's what we here for. We here to pour into
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
God gonna take care of the rest.
Mhm.
But I really enjoyed our conversation, Miss Sonia. I really, really
I have
appreciate you
to.
being here. One last question. So I
Okay.
wanted you to give the audience maybe a gem on it while they're still at their 9 to 5, but they are wanting to, create a business to so they can build something up for their last name. What would you recommend for them to get started? Like, because I know a lot of people quit their jobs and then they try to move right into entrepreneurship, and we get a lot of back and forth about that. We get some people that say, "Yeah, have faith, step out, do it," and then you get more logical people that say, you need to wait. You don't just quit
Right.
your job because you're going to end up back at the job or another job because you didn't have the
Mhm.
income to feed your business.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts, Miss Sonia?
I am one of the more logical people.
Okay.
Understand that I do want to walk off my job right now today. But that's not what's best for me. I've set a goal for myself that whenever I walk away from the job,
Mm-hmm.
I will have 12 months of income saved.
Yes.
And I'm working on it.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I would I don't know, I guess the message that I would give to somebody in my situation,
Mm-hmm.
in the same situation, that is, you are on a job and you are ready to walk away and become a full-time entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
is to first be logical,
Right.
crunch your numbers,
Mm-hmm.
see what you can do without, see what you can live without. How can you sacrifice now so that you
Mm-hmm.
can have your greater later?
Right.
And make
Right.
sure that you have established your target market so
Mm-hmm.
that once you do get this business in place, you're actually speaking to the correct group of people,
Right.
the people that need what you have to offer.
Right.
um Understand that your purpose and your passion has to be aligned.
Yes.
If you are moving in your purpose as well as your passion,
Mm-hmm.
then whatever you do,
Mm-hmm.
whenever you're moving in alignment with purpose and passion,
Mm-hmm.
it will always it will always be fulfilling.
Right.
Even on the days when you don't
Yes.
get the cha-ching from Shopify, it'll
Right.
be fulfilling because you are moving in alignment with your purpose and your passion.
That's so true. That is so true. I hope y'all are picking up what Miss Auntie is putting down because she is absolutely right. She is absolutely right. And I'm gonna just piggyback off of that real quick. So I'm why she's right. The reason why she's right is because the other day I didn't have a good morning. So my energy was off. My energy wasn't good. And I had a live, a split live that I already committed to. And I was thinking about canceling it and rescheduling it because I didn't want to come off with bad energy. But you know what? I didn't cancel it. I went on through with the live anyway with um, this other beautiful young lady who's into herbs. And honestly, what she said on the live, she said that she always encounters people when they're hurting or when they're struggling with something because she's a herbalist. And she was wondering why she only gets people when they're down or when they maybe need something and then she don't hear from them no more. And she
Hmm.
was like, well, it's because I'm a healer. They come to me to get healed. And once they're healed, then they're gone. And she's like, I had to, you know, talk to God about that and really understand that. And she was like, and it was an alignment for you to get on this live with me. Because honestly, after I got on the live, I felt so much better. Like I felt good,
Right.
like talking to the people, talking to her, um, giving that knowledge that we all need to hear, how herbs heal the body, how they're good for the hair, and all of that good jazz. And I don't know, but it was a great live. And now we even, you know, made an agreement that we're gonna go live once a week now. Just because, I really love what she does and it plays right into natural hair well.
Right.
Because I'm all about being natural. So she inspires
Right.
me because my ultimate goal, Sonia, is to have my own personal herb pharmacy at home. So I can mix up whatever I need. We don't have to go nowhere.
Hmm.
We can take everything from the house to give our bodies what it needs
Right.
because God gave us everything we need. We don't need none of
He
this
sure
this
did.
medicine. Yeah.
He
Yeah, we
sure
don't need none of
did.
this stuff. So God knew what he was doing when he created this
Hmm.
earth. He knew exactly what he was doing. So I really appreciate you, Sonia. Like I'm almost like emotional because of the conversation and just everything that you have said is so inspiring. So I really appreciate you.
I thank you for trusting me to freestyle with you.
Oh,
I
you're welcome.
appreciate that. No, it's okay.
I know. I don't know why I get like this.
I'm honey. If a cat sneezes, I'ma cry. So don't even. I get it. I get it. People who cry like that, people who cry like you, people who cry like me, those are the helpers. Those
Right.
are. I was told when I was a little girl that the people that cry like us, those are the angels that God sent. Because I would be so angry at myself because I'm like, everything makes me cry. The happy stuff, the sad stuff.
Right.
I see somebody on TV and I cry.
Right.
And somebody said it's because he sent you as an angel. Those are the people that brim with emotion. And
Right.
those same people that brim with emotion easily like that are the same people that are the helpers, the same people that move in gratitude, the same people that move in service. What you
Yes.
have, baby, is a superpower. That is a gift.
Oh, thank you. I never thought of it like that. That's good to hear, for sure. For sure.
So don't apologize for your gift.
I will not. Thank you for telling me that. I really appreciate it. I really do.
You're welcome.
Well, I guess we are two angels then, flying around. But you guys, make sure that you tap in with Miss Sonia. Miss Sonia, why don't you give them your handle, your information, so they know where to find you?
Okay. Again, I am Sonia, your social media coach and founder of Black Storehouse. You can follow us on Instagram at Black Storehouse 123, on Facebook at Black Storehouse. We're also on Twitter, Black Storehouse, and our website is www.what?
Storehouse.
Blackstorehouse.com.
Yes, you heard her.
Yeah.
www.blackstorehouse.com. Y'all get y'all booties over there so y'all can get this great service and this knowledge that Auntie is serving up.
Right. We'll be waiting for you.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you, Miss Sonia. I really appreciate you being here today. I totally enjoyed our episode, and it will be going up this week. So y'all make
Okay.
sure y'all tap in. And I'm Ty the Natural, your host. Thank you for being with us today. This was episode 7, and we out of here. We'll catch you on the next one.